Samsung versus Apple. S8 kept the same camera as the previous S7, which means it's relying on better image processing to outshoot the iPhone 7 Plus with that dual lens setup. The S8 has a slightly wider angle and the clouds seem more dramatic. The grass on the iPhones has more texture and I would say it's a tough call. In less optimal lighting, the S8 shot looks a lot warmer and more vivid, but less like the actual scene. The S8 has an 8x digital zoom, while the iPhone has a combination of optical and digital thanks to that dual lens setup, which allows it to get 10 times closer. Neither looks crisp at 8x, but the one shot on the S8 looks noisier, more pixelated, and slightly blown out. And for a scene like this one, you can actually get closer on the iPhone and still see some detail. Actual close-ups are a different story. The iPhone lets you focus manually on an area. The S8 has a Pro mode that lets you pinpoint exactly what you want to focus on. My one complaint, I kept accidentally switching to the front camera while controlling the focus. These butterfly shots at the California Academy of Sciences show the difference. The greater contrast on the iPhone gives the shot more depth, while the green on the S8 is more vivid, but the iPhone had a hard time focusing once I got up really close. When you zoom in on the shots, you'll notice the crazy amount of detail the S8 managed to capture on the wings and torso of the butterfly. Next, we went to the Marine Mammal Center to see the Rescue Center in action. Both phones have impressive burst modes, but the S8 takes more shots per burst, so you get more frames to choose from. The shots are similar, but the S8 captured more detail on the flying fish and the pieces of ice. The iPhone 7 Plus has a portrait mode which uses both lenses to create a blurred background effect. The S8 has a selective focus mode which in theory does the same thing but relies solely on software since it only has one lens. Both ended up getting it right eventually, but getting it with the S8 was a challenge. The effect won't work unless you get up close to your subject and have time to focus, which was nearly impossible with live animals. I got some great portraits with the iPhone but missed out with the S8 because my models kept moving. And even when the S8 does get the effect right, it's not great. Smooth sealskin is one thing, but try unruly hair and the shot is a mess. Part of the rock is just as in focus as my hair, and half the scarf is blurred out. The front camera on the S8 also has the selective focus option for selfies and other gimmicks you may never use. It packs in more pixels in a wider angle lens with a super wide option that gives you even more room. I like the warmer skin tones on the iPhone, but the S8 is the selfie master. To test these cameras in low light, we took them down to the Twilight Zone exhibit at the Academy. The differences in these shots are almost imperceptible, both up close and far away. But what it took to get the shot is what made the S8 a clear winner. The iPhone had a hard time focusing in the dark and it took a few tries to get it right. The S8 was quick on the draw.
Wow, look at that.
And if the results are the same, I'd rather take the S8. So the S8 Plus managed to beat the iPhone 7 Plus in our shootout, but not by much considering it's last year's model. And now, the ball's in Apple's court.